on gold, if you start from the weekly time frame, you see still the same thing we've been saying for weeks now, that prices, the structure of the weekly time frame is bullish, and it has remained bullish for the longest for weeks now. You had this retracement, and now potentially this is like a higher low zone for which to continue bullish. You can see this candlestick, you see the weekly candlestick engulf this candle. You see, so potentially from this zone, we should continue bullish to new highs. If you go to the daily time frame, also you see the structure, you see how we made a double bottom here. So this was a double bottom, right? Double bottom here, price suggested of this double bottom, and we push all the way up to this zone. Now potentially from this zone, since this is a counter retracement, right, or a counter trend, I see price from this counter trend now, price making a new high around. I see price pushing all the way up to 5k. Now what are we going to look for we to continue riding this trend? What we'll do is on the lower time frame, which is the 2-hour time frame, we'll just wait for a new higher low. Once we get the new higher low zone, we'll buy. Potentially that new higher low zone, I don't think it's going to go lower than this zone. Why did I say I don't think it's going to go lower than this zone? It's based on the simple fact that, okay, this was the last higher low price made, and if we are going bullish, right, price shouldn't break past the last higher low it's made. If you are bullish, price shouldn't break past the last higher low. So I don't think we're going to go lower, or even though we go lower than this zone, then we should just touch this supports here, resistance, which is now price is going to use as a support, because this one was the last lower high price made on the daily time frame. If you go back to the daily time frame, you see, so after while we're making this counter trend where we drop, boom, you push all the way, this was last lower high zone. So if you are going to drop, if we're going to see any type of drop, this should not go lower than this one. I don't even think we're going to make any drop to that zone. Like that zone, I don't think we're going to drop all the way down to that zone. So around this zone here is where I'm looking for a potential entry. And now looking at this structure here, you see that we're making lower highs, right? If you look at this here, this lower high, push down the lower high, you get, so consistently making lower highs. So this is just telling, okay, we are see this is like a counter trend on the 2-hour time frame. So if we are still making lower highs on the 2-hour time frame, we have to wait for price to switch and we start making higher highs and higher lows. So that's what I'm potentially waiting for. If we drop down, push all the way up, maybe we push down to this zone, I don't know, or we drop all the way down to this zone. Even this zone here, if I get a rejection from this zone here, I will enter longs. Now, I will preferably, when I want to enter this position, would be at New York section. You shouldn't enter this position at any other section. You should enter it at New York section, or a few hours to New York section. You get, like maybe an hour or 2 hours before London's New York section. If you get a rejection of this zone, then you enter longs. So that's what I'm potentially waiting for. So if we let's say price reject off of this zone, we drop all the way down to this zone and we reject off of this zone, let's say, yeah, what I'll do is to enter longs. If I enter longs here, then my take profit to be 5k, even higher too, even higher than that, but let's just use 5k, and my SL will be around this last higher low price made. So something like this is what we're going to wait for. Or since, like I said, we are making lower highs and lower lows, let's say we continue from this zone, we drop, boom, we make a lower high, we drop, continue like that. What you do is just wait for price to switch. You get, or we to start making higher highs, higher lows. You get, from that zone, then you enter longs. You get what I'm trying to say? Just wait for a switch of structure on the 2-hour time frame, because right now we have still bearish. Just wait for price to switch. Once we switch, you enter long. So once I get that switch, potentially also this is something I'm also looking forward to, then I will enter longs and target these highs here. So that's basically what I'm looking forward to on gold this week. Let's just see how it plays out. Now this structure, right, this structure is similar to something it made. I'm going to show you around here. Boom. That structure there is similar to something it's made around here. Yeah, if you look at this structure here, you see same thing. I'm not saying it's going to follow the same pattern here, but I'm just saying it's just like similar to this structure here. You see on this structure we're bullish, then we started making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. But then what do? We switch. We started making high, a low. If you look at the structure, let me open it wider. If you look at the structure here, you see we started making higher highs and higher lows. Boom, low, a high, a low, a high, like that, like that. We drop down, but we are still rejecting off of this zone. See, respecting bullish structure. You get, still respecting bullish structure. Still low key like consolidating around that zone, consolidating, but still respecting bullish structure. Lows, 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 and from this zone we push. You see, so it's looking like similar structure to what is happening right, or what is going to happen right now. So since we are making bearish structure, we just wait for price to switch to bullish structure, then we enter longs. So yeah, that's it on gold. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.